Go for game number 2, but in game number 1, if you missed it, Josh Donaldson connected. This a 3-run homer, and that made it 3-0. And then Nelson Cruz, this solo shot, that would make it 5-0. And then the big man, Miguel Sano, 3 home runs.
Well, the Bomba squad was dusting off shades of 2019. You know how quickly it can happen. And for Daniel Ponce de Leon, the key is going to be not just keep the ball in the ballpark. We know that. But for Ponce, throw a lot of strikes. Look, that is a line that Daniel Ponce de Leon doesn't want to see next to his name again. He was chased after 2/3 of an inning, gave up 4, walked 4. Just stay within the strike zone, compete there.
So Daniel Ponce de Leon going in game number 2. Cardinals looking for a split in this doubleheader. And it's Cardinals baseball coming up next on Fox Sports Midwest. Two from downtown St. Louis. Erica Weston, Jim Hayes, Brad Thompson, Dan McLaughlin. It is 80 degrees. It's now cloudy as we get you set for the second of 2. And with the win in game 1, the Twins are now under Rocco Baldelli, 10 games above the 500 mark at 27-17, and the Cardinals back at 500, 17-17, and trying to regroup after the game 1 loss. Daniel Ponce de Leon, Brad Thompson is going in game number 2.
Well, I'm looking forward for this opportunity for Ponce. Things have not gone exactly as planned for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Ponce. Lots of fastballs, 61% of them. Got that good cutter as well, a curveball and a changeup that he's going to mix in here and there. But he's got himself an opportunity. The rotation needs innings, and hopefully Ponce can give them to you.
Here's Lamont Wade, the center fielder. And our key to the game presented by Toyota.
It's that simple. It's pump strikes for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Good start. Compete within the strike zone. His stuff is good enough to play there. Good breaking ball right there.
0-2. So got sent back to the alternate site of Springfield, and maybe a reset physically and mentally for Daniel Ponce de Leon. We'll see how it all plays out. The 0-2 pitch to Lamont Wade. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and a good start for Daniel. Look at the Minnesota lineup here for game number 2. Wade at the top. Now Josh Donaldson and then Nelson Cruz. Eddie Rosario. Miguel Sano. Brent Rooker. Adrianza. Gonzalez and Jeffers. Easy for me to say. There's Josh Donaldson as he fouls it back. The 3-run homer. Couple of hits in game 1.
Donaldson is very, very dangerous. Only 14 games he's played in so far this season. Has been limited with the calf issue. Just came off the IL a couple of days ago.
1 ball, 1 strike. He was the 2019 Comeback Player of the Year with Atlanta. Turned that into a 4-year deal with the Minnesota Twins. A check swing and a strike, 1-2.
Well, Ponce is showing off all the pitches right there. That's that good little cutter away. You could tell that Donaldson was geared up for a little something different there.
And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Cardinals defense tonight, definitely a different looking team in game 2 with O'Neill, Bader, and Edman in the outfield. Carpenter at third. Around the horn presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. DeYoung, Miller at second. Ravello at first. Matt Wieters behind the plate. Shaking things up here for game number 2.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of shaking it up just in general with all the ball games that they have, but you might as well offensively give some guys some opportunities.
Nelson Cruz a single into left field. First base runner of the night. All he does is hit.
the way that Nelson Cruz is playing, he's probably got another good 10 years in him. He's got Jamie Moyer written all over him, right? Well, was Jamie 49 and still pitching in the big leagues?
Something like that.
47,
47, 49.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You're right. Just that good, smooth stroke, power to all fields. And for Daniel Ponce de Leon, who cares? Who cares? A little single, go right back to pumping strikes. You don't have to try to do too much. Don't have to start getting fined just because you have a runner on.
Cleanup man Rosario is driven at 30. You look at the thump in the middle of this lineup. Cruz, 30 runs batted in. Rosario the same. Sano at 20. They have got some thunder in this lineup. Well, they know one thing with the 40-year-old Nelson Cruz, he is not running. So because of that, Rangel Ravelo not even holding him on, playing behind him. Left-handed hitting Rosario at the plate. One ball and one strike. Outfield is deep and they are straight away. Well, Daniel, in that start against Minnesota, was that first inning. He had all kinds of problems, well over 30 pitches, and it was just fastball after fastball. And then he changed it up. He went with changeups. He went with curveballs. It was almost like he threw out the game plan and then looked like a completely different pitcher.
He did. It did multiple things for him. It slowed him down a little bit mechanically, and then it got the hitters a little off balance.
That's hit down the right field line and yanked foul.
It's a good pitch. That cutter in there to Rosario, and you saw Matt Wieters shaking his head. He liked that. That's all that Rosario can do to that pitch, is just to hook it foul. So when you're able to throw that pitch in there to the left-handed hitting Rosario here, it opens you up. If you want to go fastball up and away now, well, he's geared up looking inside.
And the 1-2 pitch. Hit out of play. So 2 pitches ago goes in. That's up and away. Different eye level as well.
Well, it's very early in this ball game, but I like what we've seen so far out of Daniel Ponce de Leon in his 13 pitches, 11 strikes, 2 balls.
And that's well hit out to left, but O'Neill there for the catch. Twin strand of runner. Cardinals coming up in the home half of the first. Tommy Edman, Paul DeYoung, Paul Goldschmidt. No score. Tommy Edman in the leadoff position for the Cardinals, followed by Paul DeYoung and Paul Goldschmidt. Then Brad Miller, Rangel Ravelo, Tyler O'Neill, Matt Carpenter, Matt Wieters, and Harrison Bader. Randy Dobnak. Interesting cat, isn't he?
Are you judging a book by its cover here?
I am.
Is that what you're going with, just the handlebar? I think he's a pretty normal dude.
Well,
I mean, can you think of somebody else that had a handlebar mustache that might be a little off their rocker? I doubt it.
I worked with one for many, many years, and we continue to work with him. That's backhanded and can't be fielded cleanly by Gonzalez, so Tommy Edman is aboard. Are you referring to the Matt Hungarian?
Well, you're the one doing the referencing here. It'd be nice to be able to take advantage of this. The Cardinals have not been given too many gifts here recently. It'd be nice to be able to cash one in.
That is ruled a base hit for Tommy Edman. So this right-hander, he says he is a superstitious guy. Now they just changed it to an air. So a few years ago, he got called up from Class A Fort Myers to Double-A Pensacola. He had been bored and gave himself a Fu Manchu and decided it had to come with him. It just had to. It was good luck, so it has remained with him ever since. And that is hit sharply to short. Turns into a double play.
Well, the way that was hit, obviously Tommy Edman thinks this ball is caught clean in the air. He retreats, goes back. He's in no man's land either way this goes. This ball's hit on the screws.
Twins defensively, Rosario, Wade, and Rooker. In the outfield around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, Donaldson, Adrianza, Gonzalez, and Sano. And Jeffers behind the plate.
Nailed it that time.
Thank you. Really slowed it down. Adrianza. Thank you.
I think it's all about pumping each other up. You know,
I feel better about it too.
Yeah, we do that enough.
Yeah.
A lot of good things are going to happen around here.
Thompson, I appreciate that.
Anytime, here for you, Dan.
Adrianza. We saw him, by the way, a lot in spring training.
Saw who?
Adrianza.
Sure did. Good player.
Feeling better about it. Yeah. Two and 1 the count here on Paul Goldschmidt. Watch it, Thompson. Now, I can't believe that you would throw Al under the bus like you have, but I won't let Al know about it. Believe me.
I'm not sure you've listened to this inning at all, because I didn't even reference Al.
You threw him under the bus, but it's okay. Because I think Al, over the years of that Fu Manchu, which has been good luck for him for many, many years, he's looked spectacular and menacing with that look.
Look at that. One of those guys is as crazy as the day is long. The other one is Dobnak. Andy. Love Al.
The 2-2, and that's fouled back. Hyundai pitch arsenal. What do we have?
Well, a lot of fastball slider is mainly what you're going to see out of him. Sinking action on his fastball. Every once in a while you get the changeup, but it's going to mainly be sinker slider from Dobnak.
Ground ball. Who had that? Who was that?
You tell me.
Adrianza.
You.
No score at Busch Stadium as we go to the second. Major League Baseball will honor the legacy for his contributions to baseball on and off the field. Many Puerto Rican-born players will be honoring his memory by wearing number 21. That goes for Yadier Molina. Yadi will wear number 21 on Thursday after the off day. Mike Schultz totally on board with it. He told me, you got to love Yadi wanting to honor him like that. The league should probably do something like that across baseball. And Danny, a pretty good idea. Honoring the great Roberto Clemente is always a good idea.
No doubt. Thank you, Jimmy, and the outstanding longtime Pittsburgh Pirate. Here is Sano, and it's popped up in foul. Sano with home run number 10 in game 1. So Sano here, then Rooker, Adrianza, the switch hitter. It was a 14 pitch first inning, and 12 of the 14 were strikes from Daniel Ponce de Leon.
And he's shown off a little bit of everything. To your earlier point, Dan, it's not just, all right, here's fastball, nothing but fastball first inning. He's throwing the cutter, throwing the curveball as well.
And that's hit up the middle, and a base hit, Miguel Sano. Second hit allowed by Daniel. It's time now for your T-Mobile ticket to the game. Roberto Clemente career profile, 3,000 career hits, MVP, 4-time batting champ, 12 gold gloves, World Series MVP, and was inducted right away into baseball's Hall of Fame. T-Mobile ticket to the game. Here's Brant Rooker. Rated as the 12th best prospect in the Twins organization. That pitch taken low. .267 the average, no home runs, and he's driven in 3. Pulled down the left field line, but foul. I know there's been some fans curious about if the Cardinals will wear a patch or the number 20 on the uniform. I did ask Bill DeWitt about that, the Cardinals president, and it's not something that can easily be turned around. So within the next couple of days, you will have a patch worn throughout the season, the remainder of the season, to honor the late great Lou Brock, and that will be done.
No, it should be, and I'm sure it'll be great. Anytime, I think it's probably hard to turn stuff around like that, but certainly I would think with all the protocols now during a pandemic makes it a little bit tougher, and they want to make sure that anything they do is going to be right and is going to be perfect and fit well.
There's a swing and a miss to even it up at 2-2. And obviously, when there are fans back in the ballpark, there will be some type of recognition for Lou and his family. And opening day will never be the same without Lou, too.
No, you're right. I'm getting goosebumps already, though, thinking about a packed Busch Stadium chanting Lou.
Absolutely. That's it out to deep left, and that ball is gone. The 4th home run hit today by the Minnesota Twins, and for Rooker, his first.
It's a nice swing right there by Rooker from Ponce. It's just a fastball that catches way too much of the plate. The single that he gave up to Sano beforehand was actually a really good pitch. He went down and just served it into center. This one just too much of the heart.
That was scorched off the bat. 107 miles per hour off the bat. That is hard hit. Adrianza now fouls it back, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. So Miguel Sano led off the inning with a single. By the way, he became the first player in Twins Senators history to post double-digit home run totals in each of his first 6 major league seasons with that home run in Game 1. And the 0-2 pitch, tapped foul. And the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3 strikeouts for Daniel Ponce de Leon.
Well, you'd like to see Daniel Ponce de Leon bounce back like this after giving up the home run. You know he's upset, he's disappointed, but he doesn't let it take a hold of him. Just rears back and throws 95 right past Adrianza.
Here's Marwin Gonzalez, the switch hitter. Big curveball. The 0-1. The 1-1 pitch. in the dirt. And the 2-1 pitch swung on and missed to even it up at 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. The outfield is straight away. They shift on the infield just a bit to the right side. And the 2-2 up and in. And Gonzalez had to spin away from that.
See how good Ponce's feel is right now, because after that fastball up and in, very uncomfortable. Let's see if he can spot this changeup.
3-2 pitch. And that is hammered down the right field line, but foul. So the pitch count sits at 33 for Daniel Ponce de Leon after 14 pitches in that first inning, 12 of which were strikes. And he has just 1 out here in this second inning.
Back to the key, though. I mean, he is doing a good job of just filling up the strike zone. 25 of the 33 again are strikes.
Ground ball, couple of hops, hit to second, taken there by Miller. And it brings in Ryan Jeffers. He's considered the 6th best prospect in the Twins organization. That's the thing in 2020, boy. You better have depth in your organization, because your top prospects are going to get a shot.
Yeah, people are playing, and while it's unorthodox this season, he's taking advantage of this shot, serves that little cutter out there into left field, gets something going with 2 strikes. It's unorthodox for sure, having to use as much of your 40-man roster, and then there are the hurdles of having to get guys back on the roster. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, but there's a whole lot of opportunity for young players to maybe jumpstart their careers a year, maybe even 2 years beforehand with what they do this year, what they do here.
Now Lamont Wade, who struck out swinging back in the first, 3 hits in the inning. Popped up left side. Carpenter giving chase. Can he get there? Get there. No, out of play. Carpenter playing in, anticipating the bunt, really had a long way to go. And the 0-1 pitch. Oh-2, popped foul and out of play.
You see on that pitch, Ponce was trying to elevate. Wieters is trying to get up. That's where they ended up getting Wade last at bat, was that fastball up above the zone.
Curveball, and it's taken outside. Josh Donaldson at the on deck circle. And the 1-2 pitch.
A couple of really nice curveballs so far from Daniel Ponce de Leon. We've only seen maybe one of them pop out of his hand up high. That had been an issue for him. That feel for that pitch in general.
And the 2-2 pitch with the runner at first base. Just off the plate. So Jeffers be off with this pitch. The next two, Lamont Wade Jr. Outfield is straight away. They'll play behind that runner. There he goes. And a fly ball lifted into shallow center. Bader under it to make the catch. Top of the second comes to a close. Miller, Ravello, O'Neill coming up 2-0 Minnesota. Mix 7 pregame picks that feature the storylines around the league and compete for cash every day with MLB Quick Pick. Restrictions apply. See rules and enter at MLB.com/quickpick. That's the home run hitter, Brand Rooker. Cardinals have not led in any of the 4 doubleheader games at home this season. As Miller tried to go the other way, and that's the first out. A reminder that St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good, and by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Rangel Ravello batting .143 and getting a start at first base tonight. This guy has a high Uber rating, by the way.
Does he really? What is it?
4.99.
That's really good.
And a better ERA.
That's probably good too.
He's driving an Uber. Mask is tossed by Jeffers, and he puts it away for the out.
I would like to hear from the person, or maybe multiple people that didn't give him 5 stars. I mean, that's, some people are just hard to make happy. Some people are never satisfied, Dan.
Well, he was pretty upset about that too, and that's exactly what he said, is he was trying to figure out why someone would not give him a perfect rating.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it was somebody that didn't, felt threatened by the Fu Manchu. I mean, is that a thing?
Could be.
I guess.
Tyler O'Neill playing in his 150th career Major League game. So he's pitching in the minors, and he had signed for $2,000 and was driving an Uber to make ends meet.
Yeah, you're working. I mean, that's the thing. I feel like there's a very common misconception that happens of anybody that plays pro baseball. People just think that you're a millionaire already.
Not quite.
You're scraping it together in the minor leagues.
And he picks up his first strikeout. The home run that was hit by Brant Rooker. The difference so far, 2-0 as we head to the third.
2-0 Twins as we head to the top of the third inning. Daniel Ponce de Leon making his 5th start of the season. Now, Ponce was optioned after his last start on August 28th against the Cleveland Indians after failing to make it out of the first inning. I asked Mike Schilt before the game today if this is a statement game for Ponce, and he said that's pretty accurate, but we don't want to put any more pressure on him than he puts on himself, and he needs to think. It gets in Ponce's way a little bit when he starts thinking like that. He says he cares so much and wants to do well so badly, but he knows he needs to go out and pitch well, and all we're asking for him is to be on the plate. Let our defense work, and we'll take our shot from there. But Danny, he also needs some run support. 0 runs of support in 3 of his 4 starts this season for Ponce.
Yeah, how about that? And that could be interesting too. Now, to counter the point, he hasn't pitched deep into games. However, a lot of times you pitch differently if you're pitching from behind.
It'd be nice to have a cushion sometimes, you know. But you're right. Look, he has not mentioned that one bit. He's mentioned his shortcomings so far this year of not being able to get deep. But it does change things a little bit for you. And as far as throwing the ball over the plate, as Erica mentioned, Schulte talking about, I mean, so far so good in this ball game. 47 pitches, only 14 balls so far. He has honed in on the strike zone more. Good cutter right there.
That's out of play. Josh Donaldson, home run in game 1. First career homer at Busch Stadium. So the only parks he has yet to homer in, Marlins Park, Dodger Stadium, and Wrigley Field. But he has mostly been an American League player. Struck out back in the first inning. And the 2-2 pitch. Hits it down the left field line and fair off the sidewall. And he's on his way to second base with a leadoff double.
Backup breaking ball here by Ponce. It was a backup slider that Donaldson ended up hitting the 3-run home run in game 1 against Carlos Martinez. He sees that pitch really well, that down and in.
Just flat out hit.
Yeah.
Nelson Cruz, a single to left. Off day tomorrow, doubleheader on Thursday.
Only 5 doubleheaders left, Dan. That's all.
Get through them.
You're going to have to. I think that's where the mindset in general really comes in. And you know that Mike Schilt hits on that stuff a lot with his ball club about being mentally tough. But when you have 25 games, that's how we started, now 24 in 20 days, like, you really better take it one game at a time and focus pitch to pitch, at bat to at bat, because if you don't, you can get caught up in it pretty quickly.
3-0. Major League Baseball home run leaders since 2016. Kubota Power Stats, and at the top, Nelson Cruz. You know he's got the green light, the 3-0. And there's ball 4. Boeing, the USO of Missouri, and the Cardinals proud to honor our military who serve both at home and away. Tonight's honoree, Corporal Guzman Seajairo, proudly serves our country in the U.S. Marine Corps. Thank you. We are your biggest fans. First walk handed out by Daniel Ponce de Leon. Good pick there by Wieters. And you can see that Mike Maddox, he's at the top step. It's some anxious times for him right now. This is right in the heart of that lineup that could bust this game wide open.
Yeah, it is for sure. And these are the moments here we've seen from Daniel Ponce de Leon where things could unravel for him, or at least have a little bit in the past. So the key is, and Wieters goes down there and talks to him a little bit, slow it down. It still comes down to executing pitches. Nothing is changing because you have runners at first and second. You still just got to be able to put the ball where you want to. The more you try to do, like the harder you try to throw things, the worse the outcome ends up being.
And the 1-0 is popped up. Left field. Catch made. Tyler O'Neill. That's a big out there.
Catch made, pitch made, right? He ends up tying him up with a good fastball inside, and there's nothing Rosario can do with it. Now take a deep breath and go do it again.
There's Sano. Singled and scored back in the second inning. Genesis Cabrera begins to warm. You've got Sano here, then Rooker, who homered back in the second inning, and then a couple of switch hitters. And I think to your point, what we've seen with Daniel at times can unravel, I mean, in a hurry.
Yeah, and I think it might come down to a little bit of the quote that Erica had from Mike Schilt about the fact that he just cares so much and he tries so much. He is a fiery guy, and when he's pitching, like, he gets super intense, but sometimes he can get a little too intense and then it works against him as opposed to helping him. I know how that goes.
Brad, you were a picture of calmness and serenity.
Yeah.
I think maybe you should get into the story at Fenway Park and what happened when you when you went. Well, you got knocked out.
Well, I get knocked out of the game, and then, you know what? This is like an extra inning story, really. I mean, it's early in the ball game. Got a couple of guys on.
Okay.
I punched myself in the face. It's fine. I'm better now.
The 1-1. So you punch yourself in the face, or is this better for extra innings?
I just ran out of stuff to hit. I mean, I couldn't leave the story hanging forever, you know, or 2 seconds.
And
yeah, I gave up like 6 runs, and I punched a lot of stuff on the way, and I ran out of stuff to hit. When I got to my locker, I hit myself, and I learned a lesson.
And you knocked yourself out.
Yeah, I learned a little lesson that I either can't take a punch or I hit harder than I thought I did.
The 1-2 swung on and missed, and a strikeout of Miguel Sano. I'm sorry, but I think it's one of the great baseball stories.
Idiot. Really good pitch here. It's amazing, though, how my just rage in general has gone down quite a bit. I'm 6 foot, throwing 88, 89. I had to have a little something behind me, you know, and it just turned out to be blind rage.
Here is Rooker with 2 runners on, and that's a good pitch.
I like it.
Strike 1. Well, Rooker is only 414 home runs shy of his teammate Nelson Cruz. That was his first in the big leagues back in the second inning. It's one way to look at it. And here it was back in the second, in a moment he'll never forget, his first ever big league homer.
That is for sure. A little bit easier to get that baseball nowadays with nobody there, and it ends up in your own bullpen. So I'm sure somebody will have that for Rooker, and good swing of the bat. There's a reason that he's here. There's a reason that they're giving him this opportunity.
Oh, 2 pitch. Out of play.
This is big right here, being able to leave these couple of runners on if Daniel Ponce de Leon bears down and gets Rooker here. Nice momentum swing for him. I love the intensity. I love the focus. It's all about just focusing on that one pitch.
This will be pitch number 63 coming up. And that's hit out to left. O'Neill over, diving, and he made the catch. Oh, what a play. Tyler O'Neill saves a run and maybe 2. What a catch. Tyler O'Neill, full extension in left field. What a play. Ponce loves it. It's 2-0. With the Cardinal outfielders, and now it's Pop Warner, it's Stubby Clapp, and they all are going to love this play from Tyler O'Neill. What a catch.
It's huge. I mean, that play right there, that saves 2 runs easily and completely shifts this game. Now take that momentum and start putting it on Dobnak a little bit.
There's Carpenter, then Wieters and Bader. 7, 8, and 9. Matt Carpenter used as a pinch hitter the 7th inning of game 1. Sergio Romo struck out the side. That's up the middle and a base hit into center field off the glove. Dobnak, and a base hit into center.
This thing came back at Dobnak hot up the middle. Change up, dangerous pitch to lefties. If you do leave it up at all, that happens a lot. Got a little bit of leather on there and saw his life flash before his eyes.
That's the first Cardinal hit. Dobnak played Division II baseball, remote location in West Virginia, was skipped over in the Major League Baseball draft and was playing an independent ball as Wieters is hit by the pitch. But he was playing independent ball as recent as 2017, and now here he is in the big leagues.
You got talent, they'll find you at some point. Not everybody's path is the same. It's what I love about baseball in general. This one here, that's probably going to leave a mark in the back leg. That's what I love about it, though. Everybody's path is different. The stories are different. Obviously, the Cardinals have had players in the past with independent ball roots. John Brebbia being one of those guys, was with the Yankees organization, then went to independent ball and found it back. Wishing him all the best, too, as he rehabs from Tommy John. Another key piece. We were talking about key pieces in the first game.
For sure.
That were out of it for this season.
No doubt. So here is Bader. The corners are in, and Bader gets down a bunt but foul. Well, this is interesting. I mean, you could show bunt and hit with the corners coming in. You could just swing away altogether. You could bunt anyway, put pressure on the defense. I think a concern, though, is, you know, Wieters is not running well. That's one thing to think about. You know, Carpenter's got to get a good secondary lead at second base. I mean, there's a lot of things happening here with the corners charging.
Yeah, there are for sure. I don't mind the bunt, though. My thing is, though, if you're going to sacrifice, get out there early and get it down. I mean, instead of the last minute getting the bat out.
Runners at first and second, and a 1-1 pitch. 2-1. Third baseman is Josh Donaldson. Miguel Sano at first. Outfield straight away and fairly deep, especially Wade in center. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-2. And the corners now back up with 2 strikes. Oh, just missed, and it's 3-2.
It's a good sinker right there. It's a tough take. Hey, gotta have some sort of production here. You got runners on first and second. You got nobody out. You got to move these guys over.
And the bases are loaded for the Cardinals. They have been one of the best in baseball with the sacks full. Dabnak, by the way, in his last 16 innings, the Twins have turned 9 double plays behind him. And with the speed of Edman, or if he does this, you're not going to turn 2. That was back in game 1 when he took one deep. And Arcia give it everything. Highest average at home since 2019 in the National League. Blackman, Kendrick, Arenado, and the Cardinals' Tommy Edman. They're all loaded up for Tommy.
You get that great play by O'Neill, diving in the gap, robbing Rooker of extra bases and a couple of RBI, and then all of a sudden you put a little pressure here on Dobnak. You like to see that quite a bit. You mentioned those double plays too from Dobnak. He had back-to-back games where he had 3 in a row. Like that's, or 3 in each game. Just tells you how good that sinker is. Trust your defense, throw strikes, you can get out of some jams.
Corners are in. Tommy Edman, bases loaded. And a strike. Tommy reached on an air back in the first inning. 8 for 28 with runners in scoring position this year. One ball, one strike. Inning started with Carpenter a single into center. Wieters was hit by a pitch. Bader the walk. Got to think a single maybe only scores 1 in this position because of the way that Wieters is running. Dealing with the broken toe.
I would agree.
Hit by a pitch, just not running all that well. And the 1-1. Hit the other way and foul. And Tommy in the hole, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fouled back.
That pitch there very similar to the home run pitch from game 1. Barrios threw the breaking ball down and into Tommy Edman. You saw the highlight a minute ago. He went down and got it. Dangerous spot to throw. You can get the swing and miss if you go back foot with the breaking ball, but if you leave it over the plate, watch out.
And Tommy is hit by the pitch. And with that, the Cardinals get on the board. He's hit 2 in the inning, and the Cardinals get a hit by pitch with the bases loaded, and it's now a 2-1 game. Looked like it just barely grazed the top of the foot of Tommy Edman, and this makes it a 2-1 game.
If you're going to get hit, that's the way to do it right there. That's a good RBI. You could see the shoe move, though.
If it stands, it's the 3rd time the Cardinals have been hit by a pitch this year with the bases loaded. And indeed, they will take a look at it.
I guess at this point, right, you might as well, because you know the situation that you're in. That out, those runs end up meaning a lot.
Man, is that tough to tell? Or
no, not for me. I say plain as day. It hit him. Probably get some ice on that quickly.
Get him out of there, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't get him out of there, but make sure you run an ice bag over to him. That helps sell it a little bit. As they're over there, they're looking on the headsets. They're talking to the control center. It's like, I don't know. It's really close. Yeah, I mean,
You know, the thing is,
It's
though,
too close to overturn.
that's the point. You know, I don't know if you can overturn that. Now, they do have the option in New York to take that and enhance the video, blow it up a little bit. We'll see.
I feel like it would also help if Tommy Edman over at first base now would do the grimace face a little bit. That give you a little.
Maybe lean up on the shoulder of Stubby Clapp.
My God, man.
This one really hurts Stubby.
Like, always sell it. I mean,
Gotta sell it.
Yachty was trying to sell one yesterday on the catcher's interference.
They're going to award him first base,
There it
and
is.
the Cardinals get on the board. So it's a hit by pitch, and the Cardinals do indeed get on the board. So it's a 2-1 game. Dobnak now in all kinds of trouble, and still nobody out. He's hit 2. He's walked a man, given up a single. And the bases are loaded for Paul DeJong. This season with the bases loaded, a grand slam this past road trip. His first ever in the big leagues, and he's 3 for 5 this season.
I'd be ready to jump early if I'm DeJong too. Dobnak had that time while they were reviewing the play.
And the pitch, take it for a ball. Hit into a double play his first time up. Infield is in a few steps, and the 1-0. Ooh, that's kept in front. 2 balls and no strikes, and they start to get a lefty loose in the pen now for Minnesota.
A reminder with Dobnak too, he's had a lot of success. He struggled a little bit more so on the road than at home, but he is pitching on short rest. So that's another reason you might see the bullpen getting going a little bit earlier than normal.
Inside. Well, give him the green light, and he could put the Cardinals on top. Turn him loose on 3-0 and let him rip. Taken high, and it's a walk. And with that, we're tied at 2-2. Weeder scores the second run for the Cardinals. No one has hopped out of that Minnesota dugout just yet, and now it's Paul Goldschmidt.
Well, good. Let's put another quarter or two in this carousel. This is a fun ride. Let's keep this going.
Goldschmidt grounded out to short. The bases are loaded. Still nobody out. You've got Miller, left-handed batter on deck, and the lefty getting loose for him. The first pitch to Paul. And that's a ball that he swung at for strike 1. And that's one that he actually expanded his zone and let it rip. Doesn't do that very often this year.
Pick your spots though, right?
That's right. The 0-1. Now 0-2. Outfield is deep. They're straight away. The infield in. 0-2 the count. And he stays away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
We saw Goldie expand a couple of times, but he knows his strike zone really well. I mean, this is one where you're just looking middle.
And he chased and a strikeout. Boy, Dobnak needed that.
Yeah, he did big time. A little surprising that he got him to chase a couple of different times. Goldie trying to just bust this game open. That's a good slider down the way there.
I got to wonder if you're the Twins, would you think about bringing in the lefty here? To face Miller with 2 off days coming up. You've gotten 42 pitches out of your starter. He's on short days rest. Miller hits it softly. Barehanded force play. Safe at the plate. Safe at the plate. Bader hustling in, flying in, and the Cardinals have the lead. How about the hustle there?
Yeah, seriously, if this isn't wheels over at third base, I mean, only a couple of guys are probably going to be able to make it on this really slow hopper to first right here, but Harrison is rolling. Definitely safe.
He said he was off the plate, so the throw may have beaten him, but watch the reaction of the umpire. He said he's not on the plate, and he's
sure
not.
Ain't.
Because I do think the throw beat him. If he's
close.
on the plate, he may have been out. And now it's Rangel Ravello. And strike one. And still only one out. Ravello popped out to the catcher his first time up. Ravello, base hit into left. One run in. And they're going to hold up the runner at third and keep the bases loaded. Pop Warner elects to keep the bases loaded. DeYoung stops at third, and Rangel Ravello drives in a run. And the batter will be Tyler O'Neill.
Professional hitter right there, just finds himself a hole. Up there swinging, infield is in.
Tyler O'Neill, and the first pitch taken for a ball.
This could get out of hand quickly. One pitch up, love to see it.
O'Neill, little tapper back to Dabnak. He'll flip with the glove, and this time the catcher, Jeffers, is on the plate. Is that frustrating for Tyler O'Neill? Well, this is where you got to go to your lefty with Carpenter coming up. Carpenter started this inning with a single to center, but he loves the bases loaded. That's what he'll have when we come back. Thielbar, his 11th appearance for the Minnesota Twins. What an inning it's been here for the Cardinals as they started the inning down by 2, and now they have a lead of 4-2. And Matt Carpenter started the inning, and he will be the 7th Cardinal in a row to hit with the bases loaded. He is 28 for 57 in his career, a .491 average, and the owner of 2 grand slams. Shift on the right side, and the first pitch taken for a ball.
Love hearing Carpenter talk about these situations. We know that last year didn't go as planned. He's still trying to find his groove, but talks about being calm in situations. The pressure is all on Thielbar right here. He's got an area he's looking in.
A ball and a strike. Genesis Cabrera throwing in the Cardinal pen. The 1-1 pitch here to Carpenter. 67 miles an hour with that pitch.
You'll change of pace, Dan.
I'd say. The 2-1. 2-2. The 2-2. Three and two the count with the bases loaded. And the next two, Carpenter. He walked him. It's a bases loaded walk, and that'll make it a 5-2 St. Louis lead. And Carpenter on base for the second time here in inning number 3.
This inning is kind of in death by 1,000 cuts. I mean, it's still waiting for that big hit to happen, but plenty of help. Couple of hit batters, couple of walks, some fielder's choice. Maybe Matt Wieters got that big hit, really break this open.
And a strike to the Cardinals switch hitting catcher, Matt Wieters. Nothing and 2 the count. The shift. Outfield shading him a bit towards right field. And the 0-2 out of play. So the 8th career bases loaded walk for Matt Carpenter and his 86th RBI with the bases loaded.
Back to feeling comfortable. I don't know what it is about bases loaded, but seriously, I mean, there were a couple of takes in that at bat that we've seen him swing at in other situations. It's kind of a calmness that you wish that he could have all the time. Sure, he does.
And it's been a long half inning just sitting and waiting for Daniel Ponce de Leon. If and when he does go back out, Cabrera is loose. And Wieters still is alive. Rangel Ravello, the RBI base hit. O'Neill rounded out. And Matt Carpenter, the bases loaded walk. Nothing in 2.
It has been nothing but off speed. Breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. Thielbar, since he came in, he's only thrown that one fastball and 0-2 to Wieters that he fouled off. He's laboring out there right now.
Out of play. The 1-2. Take it high. 2-2. Rocco Baldelli, a long inning. Inning started 2-0 in favor of Minnesota, and finally some offense today for Mike Shilton, his club. So from 0-2, he's worked it to a full count, and the runner's off with his pitch with the bases loaded. Harrison Bader is on deck. And the 3-2 to Matt Wieters. We'll do it again.
He is making him work for everything right now, and he's taking some pitches that are really close to the zone. Maddening as a pitcher. You think you make your pitches a couple of times, he fouls it off, all of a sudden you make a mistake. He did it with Carpenter. He ended up overcooking that one, that breaking ball to him. Maybe we'll see a little more of the same here.
16 pitches already for Thielbar. And make it 17.
Professional at bat right here. Not to say that Thielbar can't end up getting Matt Wieters at some point, but he doesn't have that one pitch where you think, all right, well, that's going to be able to bury him. The breaking ball coming into him is slow. He can see it. The fastball is only low 90s. I mean, he could foul it off. He could work.
3-2 again. Fouled back. What a battle here. He just hasn't had a pitch to put him away. Well, Domnak started the inning with a 2-0 lead, and that man Ponce de Leon was trailing. 3-2 pitch again. Wieters fouls it away again.
A lot of times in at-bats like this, when a guy is fouling you off like crazy, sometimes you almost have to invent a little something new, come with something different. But the problem is with the bases juice, you got to know where to put them.
Exactly.
I mean, what are you going to do? You got to keep going back to your best. The thought is, as a pitcher, I'm always going to try to get beat with my best pitch. Thielbar, to him, it's the off speed, it's the breaking ball.
3-2 pitch, and Wieters hits it down the left field line. High, curving. Will it stay fair? It is foul. Wouldn't that be something?
You were about ready to come out of this booth. I saw you. I saw you stretching a little bit. Ooh. You were trying to will it fair.
Well, Wieters deserved it if he got it.
That's a fact.
And Thielbar, if he gets him, deserves it too.
I don't think so.
This is a good battle, man. This is fun. The game within the game, it's fun.
Jeffers going to go out there and ask Thielbar if he has another pitch. Say, hey, you don't have a changeup that you've never told me about, do you? I think that would be really good here.
You got a split? You got anything else?
You ever tinker with something on the side?
Right.
Knuckleball. Wieters can't hit a knuckleball.
Right. Tyler Clippard now has to get up and start throwing for Minnesota. This will be the 15th pitch. 15 pitches of the at-bat. And here it comes. Number 15, the 3-2. Ripped foul.
This is incredible.
Tell you what, this is also the kind of at-bat for Matt Wieters, who's had a tough start to his season. Get you locked right back in.
For sure.
Pitch number 16 of the at-bat. Now time is called.
The fact that Thielbar has thrown as many strikes as he had to this point is incredible. I mean, he's fighting.
Pitch number 16 of the at-bat is popped up, and we'll have a 17th pitch.
Of course we will.
All right, that's when you go out and you say, okay, how about an ephus?
Like, hey, have you ever tried that?
That may work here.
Be a good spot.
Knuckleball, no. Okay, ephus, split finger, circle change.
At this point,
what do you got? Circle? Okay, we'll try that one.
this point as a pitcher, I'm like, just hit it at somebody. Will you please? I don't care if you hit a laser. If it makes you feel better, just hit a laser at somebody. This is an unreal at-bat by Matt Wieters.
The 17th pitch of the at-bat. Rip foul. We will have an 18th pitch of the at-bat.
He's smashing stuff that way, too.
And also his teammates, if you're Matt Carpenter, you've had to run from first to second now multiple times, and you're saying, okay, uncle.
Off day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Last one of the year. God, he's saying, you kidding me?
Pitch number 18 of the at-bat. Here it comes. And it's popped up and out of play. We'll have a 19th pitch of the at-bat. I don't think Wieters has even cracked a smile yet. Normally you'll get a smile out of one of these guys.
Dan, I kind of don't want this at-bat to end.
No, this is fun.
I kind of want to see this keep going. Now, you're right. There are a lot of reps on the base paths and a lot of reps here for Thielbar and Wieters, but golly, you don't see stuff like this very often.
This is great. Pitch number 19. And Wieters sends a fly ball out to center near the track, and Thielbar gets him. 19 pitches in the at-bat. And Brad says, pardon me while I stand up and applaud.
That was awesome.
Download the McDonald's app for medium fries for just $1 after any Cardinals home run. Now he can finally smile. Matt Wieters, 19 pitch at bat that resulted in a long fly ball, but an out to center field.
He smoked that one too, though. Like that was the best out all year, and it's not even close.
It's fun to watch.
That was fun to watch. I respect it. I respect it on both sides. Thielbar, for Wieters to battle. Now you got yourself a lead.
Adrianza at the plate. Hit the deck on the first pitch by Genesis Cabrera. Chevy called to the pen.
Hey, Genesis last time out against the Cubs, he was lights out. Inning in the third, only gave up 1 hit, punched out 4 on Sunday night. So there's 95 at your knee and then 82 for a strike. Enjoy.
What's your problem?
I mean,
come on, man. It's
no, I'm just
the
saying.
big leagues,
yeah,
okay?
No. Good luck hitting it.
There's a ground ball hit to third. Carpenter up with it and makes the play. So if you had to guess how long the Matt Wieters at bat took. Don't do that, because I just read your lips talking to the truck, because I guess the truck just told you how long it took. So now you know the answer.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, you do.
I'll go 8 minutes 43
No, the truck
seconds.
told you already.
It's 10 minutes 1 second. But I could have played along, and I could have done so well.
The whole thing's ruined now.
Is it?
Ah, forget it.
We wasted the good surprise on you.
They sure did, and you did. Here's Marwin Gonzalez. It took 10 minutes and 1 second.
Oh my
Brad.
gosh,
yeah,
really?
It sure did. Yeah, 10 minutes and 1 second.
That's unheard of.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the best out of the year, Dan.
Would you have thought it was a 10-minute at bat, though?
No, because I was into every minute. There are some at bats that feel like they're 10 minutes, and turns out they're only like 3 or 4 pitches, but they're kind of ugly. Like that happens sometimes during a major league season. I would have paid money to come and watch that at bat. All 10 minutes and 1 second of it.
10 minutes and 1 second. I didn't think it was 10 minutes.
I would have guessed that on the nose, though.
Probably. Especially with the truck helping you.
Bunch of good people over there.
A lot really good people. Tom Mee, our director, and Brian Shapiro,
all the
producer.
good people.
Brian McCann and Keith O'Brien. Dan Hyatt, our outstanding researcher. Incredible job that Dan Hyatt does. Swing and a miss and a strikeout of Marwin Gonzalez. And there's 2 away.
Just that sharp breaking ball. I mean, that thing, that's a great angle at that. that breaking ball is just so tight, and you think about it from a hitter's perspective, you also know that Genesis Cabrera can throw in 96, 97, 98 miles an hour, so you got to be ready for that. It looks like a fastball coming out of his hand. That's why you get the offering.
I think as far as research can take us in the last 30 or 40 years, it's something like 21 or 22 pitch at bat is the longest that we can go back to, probably like 87 or 88.
Did somebody tell you that
No.
in your ear, and
No.
then you went off and acted like you knew a fact?
No.
No, look at me. I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. Here's Ryan Jeffers. What do you think the longest at bat? Who's a guy that you remember that you had a battle with that went forever? Because when you have a sinker ball, you're going to get a lot of foul balls, and
pretty much everybody took a long time. I never had anything to finish hitters with. I kind of was Thielbart sometimes in at bats, where I didn't have that one pitch for that one guy. You know, one guy for me, and it wasn't somebody that I faced, but he was on my team that I used to watch all the time, that would frustrate the daylights out of pitchers, was David Eckstein. David Eckstein would just pepper foul balls right over the dugout all day and then find himself a pitch. The scouting report at the end of the day ended up being for David Eckstein: throw it down the middle.
Yeah.
Just throw it down the middle and see how far he can hit it.
I also think you don't see it anymore because the strikeout, you hate to say it this way, but it's accepted. You know,
of course it is.
You know, if you strike out, so what? But it's, for the most part, accepted.
Well, what have we seen here recently, though, with the Cardinals? Like, you put the ball in play, and then all of a sudden the moving parts are there, and you put a little pressure on the other side. I think that they're – I wish it wasn't as accepted as it is.
Totally agree.
Like, there are some guys where you look at it, it's like, dude, if you strike out, go ahead. Because I got a feeling with 2 strikes, you can pop me a home run, or you're a doubles kind of guy. But not everybody is that player.
So Dan Hyatt, our researcher, just came up with this one. He said Brandon Belt 2 years ago, the longest at bat was 21 pitches since 1988. So since 1988, 21 pitch at bat. Brandon Belt of the Giants. Fly ball left field. O'Neill comes on to make the catch. Twins will strand a runner. Cabrera scoreless inning, and we're midway through 4. Back in St. Louis and entering the Phillips 66 home run kit sweepstakes for the chance to win exclusive Cardinals merchandise. Like an autographed item, visit www.cardinals.com/Phillips66 to enter. Here's Tyler Clippard, our Chevy called to the pen. He's had a nice long career. At one point, he was a back end of the bullpen type guy and a closer that was just nasty.
Yeah, he was. He was the guy. Still doing it, though. Maybe he doesn't have the same stuff, but he can pitch. You know, both these teams, you know, coming into action today, we knew that the Cardinals have been anchored by their pitching staff. But that's been the case for the Twins also. Now, they've shown off a little bit of power here today. Maybe the Bomba squad is getting back into action, which, good, get out of here. And when you do that, when you hit that stride. But the starting staff and the relievers, the entire pitching staff for the Twins has been really good this year. Could be a lot of trouble come October time. How about that Central in general, the AL Central?
Oh, man. Caught our home plate umpire and DJ Rayburn, and he shook up. It's Adam Olson of the Cardinals medical team helping out.
Yeah, those are scary. It looked like it just kind of caught him under the chin. That'll jar you for sure. That hit him square. Knocked off the throat guard. You would think at this point a lot of that conversation is, hey, are you okay? I mean, it's not just the physical, like the shot to the chin, but you worry about the head, you worry about him moving around trying to work the jaw around. Anybody that's ever been hit in the jaw before, you know what that one feels like. But part of this evaluation is kind of the conversation back and forth.
Trying to fix that area around the throat.
As they try to fix that, Clippard's going to continue to throw. It's smart, him and Ryan Jeffers. A lot of times in a situation like this, you kind of get cold, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a little bit of a jam, in some trouble. But good news at this point that DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire, is just fixing the equipment. I'm sure that one's going to hurt. I'm guessing it's hurting now, but he looks to be okay.
And while he does that, let's get a word here from Great Southern Bank.
For all of life's little investments, a loan from Great Southern Bank can help make them happen.
And the BJC Healthcare Difference Maker. Take a quick look at this. Get you caught up third inning. It all started with Matt Carpenter. So that's how it began, and the Cardinals then would bat around. That wasn't the long at bat by Matt Wieters, by the way. He had another one in the inning that took 10 minutes and 1 second. But there were some hit batters along the way, some walks, and barely caught the foot, the toe, whatever of Tommy Edman. But it wasn't a lot of hard contact, but the Cardinals did just enough.
Well, the Cardinals absolutely in that inning.
5 runs.
Yeah, I mean, they got some help, but they also put a little pressure on. Now they got themselves a lead, and they need to keep this thing. Hand that over to the bullpen. You feel pretty good. Genesis Cabrera in there now. Ponce gave you the first 3.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Harrison Bader, who walked and scored in that third inning. Well, the home plate umpire DJ Rayburn seems to be all right, especially getting that area of the throat. There's a strikeout of Bader.
You see there, that was a good look at it, especially upstairs there. That's going to be hard for him to catch up to. But Clippard has got so many moving parts to him that it makes him difficult to pick up. That front arm is kind of flailing, and then the back one just comes right, right behind it. He hides the ball really well.
And a changeup into Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman hit by the pitch with the bases loaded in that third inning. Also reached on an error. This is the 11th team for Tyler Clippard, by the way. Washington for 7 years, Yankees for 3, and then 9 other teams. 9 other teams. Outside and runs a count full. As Edman out in front on the changeup, popped up, foul territory. And the catch made by Donaldson. Cardinals proud to partner with Wells Fargo Advisors. Thank them for continuing to serve the community through their contributions to Cardinals Care. Your shortstop Paul DeYoung bounced into a double play and then a bases loaded walk in that big third inning. Check swing. Did not go, says Laz Diaz, crew chief of this umpiring crew. 296. He's driven in 17. What do you think the games will be like when we get into postseason play and just the intensity, the way the game is played? I mean, there are times it's sloppy baseball. There's no doubt.
Yeah, you know what? I really think that we're going to see teams, specifically offenses, kind of be catching their stride like right around that time. Like that's usually about halfway through the season where you're starting to feel good. Now, as far as the atmosphere and the intensity, you can't replicate it. You can't replicate what it feels like to have Busch Stadium packed and cheering for you, or being on the road and having people on top of you. Like there's no way to do that. But I do know this: if there is a championship to be won, if they're still handing out a trophy at the end of it, once you're between the white lines, the guys are going to compete their tails off. Like that's what they do. That's what they've always known. So I think you'll see that aspect of it ramp up. But I honestly think that the gameplay in general will probably be a lot like this season, which to me overall has been pretty good. I think the guys have done a really good job of keeping themselves locked in.
I think they've definitely gotten used to it.
Yeah, I mean, you have
no
to.
No fans and
adapt or die, right?
Hey, the stats count. I mean, and guys are fighting for jobs.
That's it. Well, we were talking about that earlier about the idea of fighting for jobs. You have a lot of guys that get kind of thrust into opportunities that maybe wouldn't have come in a quote-unquote normal year, but they're here. And they're getting the chances for reps now, for reps later, for a chance to be a part of a postseason team. I mean, there's a lot of good that can come from a season like this.
1 pitch. And Goldschmidt hits it out to right field. It carries, but it's caught on the track by Rooker. We enter the 5th of game 2, and it's 5-2 St. Louis.
It's a 5-2 Cardinals lead as we move to the 5th. Being Yadi's backup means you usually have to prepare for a lot of downtime. That's just fine with Matt Wieters. Wieters, a 4-time All-Star who turned 34 in May, was our guest on the pregame show. He's played sparingly since returning from a broken toe, but he gets it. He told me Yadi has earned the right to play whenever he wants to. I'm in awe of him. Wieters told me there is a silver lining to having downtime during the 2020 season. He said, I'm able to sit in the stands with some of the young guys who aren't playing that day. I get to share some of my experiences, maybe help point them in the right direction. Danny made up for missing a lot of time right there with that at bat in the 3rd, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. 10 minutes, 1 second, 19 pitch at bat, Cat. That took a while. We'll see if that gets him going. And as Jim mentioned, they are few and far between, the starts for Matt Wieters.
It's difficult, but you know the role going into it, and he does it well. And they trust him. Like they trust him whenever he's in there. They know that he handles the staff really well. They know that he's going to give you a good professional at bat, and certainly that was a really nice example of it last time out. But that guy right there, that dude is going to be playing most of the time.
What do you think about this now? You got Gant here for the 5th. How do you go with the 6th and the 7th? Maybe Gant 5th and 6th to get to.
Yeah, or
your
you could piece it
or
together. You could be, get Miller in between.
Yeah,
and then
that's
have
the other way.
Gallegos. Yeah, I think you bridge the gap that way depending on how it falls for you. But I like this is the part of the game, and these are the games where when they're handed over to the bullpen with a lead, you feel great about it.
Yeah,
these guys have been so good.
3-2 the count on Josh Donaldson, a double and a strikeout tonight. We are in the 5th. Just off the plate and a leadoff walk. Cardinals baseball brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the Cardinals, and by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. Nelson Cruz has singled to left and also walked. So again needs that ground ball and that double play.
Yeah, he's probably tired of running the bases today, wouldn't you think? Nice little ground ball somewhere, sinker down and away. Double him up. You can go sit down for a minute, take a breather.
Nelson not one that's all that fleet of foot, but sometimes he doesn't have to be. Line drive and a base hit into right. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. Donaldson will stop at second base. And Nelson Cruz, it was his misplay on the David Freese triple with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 9th that kept the World Series alive for St. Louis.
Just good hitting right there, right through the right side. I wonder if he's ever tired of hearing about that missed play at all. Ever. Probably doesn't think about it every single time he comes here.
He's actually kept a pretty good attitude about it.
I guess you kind of have to.
That's part of baseball history. Is what it is, right?
Depends on your perspective, but that could arguably be the best moment ever. Or, however they feel.
Rosario, Carpenter, and gets the shore out. That's a big out. Rosario's a guy that could swing it and tie it up. So they get the out. 2 runners now in scoring position. Runners at second and third. Miguel Sano. And Sano has singled to center and also struck out. You know, a lot of times there are managers that have talked about it, how you look at when you want to use your closer in a normal season, 9-inning game. And they say, well, the 7th inning, this might be your game. Well, in a 7-inning game, the 5th right here, middle of the lineup with the tying run at the plate, this might be your game right here.
Yeah, no, it certainly can. And I think that the beauty of the Cardinals bullpen is you have multiple guys, though, that you feel really comfortable in these roles. You feel good with Gant here. Certainly you'd feel good with Giovanni Gallegos as well.
And a strike.
I don't think he was looking for a changeup right there. Not exactly where he wanted to put it. That's the thing, though. You're in the driver's seat now. You know how much Sano will expand the zone. Now you can start working down and away. And that changeup to him will end up being really good. You can finish him with that, but it's got to be down, down.
Runners at second and third, and the 0-1 pitch by Gant. Sano, a home run in game 1, his 10th of the year. It's a ball game that was started by Daniel Ponce de Leon. Seen Genesis Cabrera, now John Gant. The 1-1. That'll score a run. Miller makes the play, and that cuts the lead to 5-3.
One of those at bats where you end up just feeling just fine about it. So okay, he did his job, good job, drives in 1, but it's only 1. Now you got to go to work against Rooker, who did hit that home run, and Tyler O'Neill saved the double in the gap that really started that momentum for the next inning.
That is the catch of the day, really the defensive play of the day. It was back in the 3rd inning with 2 runners on, and a diving catch with 2 runners on that if it gets by him, runners at first and second, probably scores 2, at least 1. I would say 2, though.
I would also. And then if he doesn't make that play, all of a sudden it's 4-0. You have no momentum. Maybe you don't take some of the at bats that you took that next following inning where they were able to score 5.
0-2 the count. Swing and a miss and a strikeout. So Gant gets the strikeout. Twins get a run. It's 5-3 midway through 5. Take a look at our Bud Light Seltzer What's on Tap, and it's a doubleheader. That'll be Thursday. Will come your way 12:30. Tigers and the Cardinals 12:30, and that's a doubleheader with Detroit in town. Bud Light Seltzer, what's on tap?
I think you're going to end up missing doubleheader. Chevy called to the bullpen, Trevor May. 5 more of them coming up. Dan, normal year next year. You're going to miss the doubleheaders?
And that is hit into the gap in right center. Cut off, and a base hit for Miller. I am. I'm enjoying them.
I do too.
I like the 7-inning doubleheader. I do wonder if there will be some type of adjustment to the schedule. If the players, if this will allow them to get more off days and you add more postseason play. So if you add another round to the postseason, as there'll be a pinch runner for Miller. So hear me out. You get, let's say, an extra off day a week, and that allows you then to maybe stop the season, finish the season earlier, and then start your postseason play earlier and add more
games.
Yeah, so you play more postseason games.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, are you talking maybe even like they're doing this year with the expanded postseason in general?
Exactly.
Keep that going, because I think that is going to be part of the future. For sure. I'm with you. I think that there are a lot of different ways that you could do it, but I mean, maybe that's a league-wide thing on Sundays, where Mondays is a
Well, let me ask you this:
day.
you're the player.
Yeah.
Would you be for it?
Yeah, I think so. I think most
Think
guys would.
could handle it.
I think so. I believe they could. You know, for a lot of the games too, depending on how built up your staff is, and depending on what they let you do with the rosters. Sometimes the 7-inning games from a pitching standpoint, I know that Austin Gomber talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Sometimes that can be a boost for you. If you got a couple of starters that can eat up a lot of those innings, and maybe you use a reliever in each game, well, you're pretty good to go. Then you have that built-in rest day.
I will say this: I'm more of a believer in the DH than I thought I would be.
It hasn't bothered me this year, and that's what I keep saying. If you're going to sneak attack something on me, just do it in a year that there's a pandemic. And I feel like you can have
Get
what
away
you
with
want.
it.
Yeah.
So they're able to get the one out at first base. Wong safe at second. I just think that the more I talk to fans, they seem to be, and this is a generalization, they're okay with the majority of rules. Not everybody, but they're okay with it. Even starting the runner at second base. Extra innings. It's not great, but they're okay with it.
It's not perfect. And if you're a full-on, if you're just traditional, I understand it, and I get that, and I think that I lean that direction more often than not. But there have been a lot of games that I've watched, and I just tune in on TV because I know it's extra innings, and there's going to be somebody on second base. It's built-in drama, like right away.
I think that's what they like about it. That's what they like about the 7-inning games, too. It's quicker, and it's drama from the beginning.
Yeah, now I certainly wouldn't want to see a season full of 7-inning games, but I'm okay with the double headers.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. And that is fouled back. Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Yeah, I just kind of have a feeling these may be here to stay, and the players will buy in, and you get more built-in off days, which is something that the players have wanted anyway.
Yeah. Well, you know, the DH is, I mean, that's happening. Next season,
sure,
it's going to be done. So
definitely,
you might have already seen the end of it. I mean, come to an agreement for next year.
Well, here's the thing: no one's bunting anyway.
Nobody knows how to bunt anymore.
Even with the runner at second in extra innings, no one bunts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only time you really see that is if the visiting team doesn't score. You know, you need one. Maybe you bunt the guy over, then a sac fly wins you the ball game if you're the home team. But there is strategy involved on both sides.
Pitchers last year in the National League hit 131.
A heavy 131. I'd like to at least have that qualifier.
Okay.
But it was a heavy 131.
They slugged 168.
But it was heavier than that even sounds as well. A lot of loud outs.
Loud.
Yeah.
Really loud outs.
Yeah, you remember.
Barreling the ball.
That's right.
2-2 the count here on Tyler O'Neill. 0 for 2 tonight, and the 2-2 pitch. Outside corner, struck him out. So May gets the strikeout.
O'Neill definitely got himself a little bit of a beef. That one's off the plate. He didn't love it.
There's Carpenter, who has singled. This was all in the third inning. He singled and scored. That started that 5-run inning, and then also had a bases loaded walk in the same inning. So the shortstop, second baseman, first baseman, all on the second base side of the bag. And all that room on the left side. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Two and one the count. 5-3 our score as we play in the bottom of the 5th. Again, a 7-inning game. Game 2 of the doubleheader. Carpenter did not go. Off the plate at 98. So here you go. 19 pitches in the previous at bat to Matt Wieters. All 19 of them. I wanted you to go pitch by pitch here, Brad. Break it down.
Well, slider, fastball, slider, 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 fastball by a field bar, slider, 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 slider. Finally, a fastball hit out to center field. That was an incredible at bat. Like that, and he did not. You brought up the point during it. He didn't break character once, man. He was locked. I mean, he was barreling stuff, shooting foul balls way down the left field line. Even the one that he ended up getting out on. He hit a rocket to center field to the warning track.
Lane Thomas will pinch run for Carpenter.
Do it again.
That was the 660th walk of Carpenter's career. And that tied him for 7th all time in Cardinals history with Rogers Hornsby.
That's a pretty good name.
I'd say so.
Jeez.
So a shift here for Matt Wieters. First pitch was hit out of play in the 0-1. To the screen, and runners advance to second and third. Good speed at second and third.
Jeffers had no chance on that. That thing was 97, well above his head. We'll go talk this over a little bit.
And while we have a moment, quick word from Cardinal Glennon.
Hey, it's Matt Carpenter. Support Cardinal Glennon Kids at homersforhealth.org, presented by Heartland Coca-Cola.
Ball and a strike on Matt Wieters. 5-3 our score. Those are 2 big runs out there.
Oh, they're huge. Get those in too. It might change how you deploy your bullpen. And as we talked about, we also, the Cardinals have an off day tomorrow, but it's the last one of the year. So if you're able to tack on a little bit more, maybe you build in some more rest. Another doubleheader coming up on Thursday. So it would be nice to have as many arms as you possibly can, be as fresh as they can be at this point.
Ooh, right on that pitch and fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefties only hitting .212, but they do have 3 home runs against May this year. Kept in front, 2-2. Thomas at second, Wong at third. And the 2-2 pitch to Matt Wieters. Could not hold up, and the strikeout. We have played 5 here in game 2. We head to the 6th. Cardinals strand a pair. It's 5-3.
Carlos Martinez making his second start of the season, first since the end of July after testing positive for COVID-19. 3 2/3 for Carlos, 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts in his outing earlier today. But Carlos Martinez told us between games this afternoon that he is looking at this season with an entirely new perspective after testing positive for COVID-19. We got some insight into how Carlos, his situation after dealing with the COVID-19 positive test. He said he was in the hospital 3 or 4 times, but he feels great now. The body feels strong, but he said it took him about 20 to 23 days to feel better. He had a fever, cough, body aches, and pain. He said sometimes he had a hard time breathing. There was dizziness as well. So he said he was just blessed to have another opportunity. He said, right now I feel normal and just want to continue with my work. And he added that he was sad to watch his team go on without him on the sideline. So why did Carlos decide to wait longer, get stretched out, insert himself into that starting rotation? He said, I think they need me. They don't need me in the bullpen. They have a lot of guys that are good down there. He says, I feel strong with my arm. I just want to show my team I can be a starter and I can be great, Dan.
Adrianza grounds out. Now Marwin Gonzalez will be the batter. There's one away here in the 6th, and our Chevy call to the pen is Andrew Miller. Miller so far in 8 games, 6 2/3, ERA just over 4. He's had a couple of days of rest, and since he's come off the IL, he's looked pretty sharp.
He has looked sharp. The breaking ball has looked really good by Andrew Miller, able to repeat it, which is huge. Throwing it for strikes. By the way, I want to give credit where credit is due. You have done a fantastic job with Adrianza since the onset.
See what the big deal is.
I just nailed it the entire time.
I appreciate that. Here's Marwin Gonzalez, who is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second and has struck out. Look, initially he was a little shaky.
Oh, I'm saying I was
a little shaky.
Okay? It wasn't to bring up the bad. It was to reinforce the good. That's
yeah.
what we do as a team. You know, me and you.
We're in the
the trust tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Gonzalez, a 2-1 pitch. Taps it out in front of the plate. Miller spins and throws for the out to Rangel Ravello. Subway restaurants proud to feature the Cardinals fan favorite for September, the steak and cheese sub. And it's fueling fans around St. Louis all month long. Here's Ryan Jeffers. Single to left and also walked. So only be pitch number 8 of the inning for Miller. Catches the corner. Well, you get strike 1, and that sets up that slider, and that is oh so crucial. Last year was 37% ground balls for Miller, well below his career average, and this year 70%, highest in his career, and that is a good sign for Andrew Miller. Everything has been down. The 1-2 pitch. Again, down.
That's that. The arm is such a whip too. So 94 is hard enough already, but that kind of crossfire action that gets on you so quickly.
And now he hits him, and that'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, just talking about the crossfire, this slider just fires in there a little bit too far.
Studio will be the pinch hitter. And with that, Mike Schilt will go to his bullpen. And Giovanni Gallegos will come in. Telecast presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Two outs now in the top of the sixth inning. Cardinals Magazine. Pick up a Yachty bobblehead and sign up for your subscription at 345-9000. 345-9000. 2-year subscription to Cardinals Magazine. And that is pulled foul. 100th Major League appearance for Giovanni Gallegos.
Kind of happened quick, didn't it? Went from a guy that make a trade with the Yankees, you don't know much about him, and all of a sudden just turn into not just an intricate part, but one of your biggest parts of your bullpen.
Whip right now is third in the National League. Opponents hitting .094 against him, and that is fifth. Slugging percentage second best only to Josh Hader. So right now he is one of the best relievers currently in baseball.
Well, he's got the stuff to get out righties and lefties, and he's not afraid to compete within the strike zone and find himself falling behind a ton.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and he struck him out. Gallegos comes in, gets the strikeout, leaves the tying run at the dish. The strikeout for Gallegos, and it's 5-3 St. Louis. He called to the pen, and Jorge Alcala is the new pitcher in. 6'3" right-hander out of the Dominican Republic. He earned the win in the Saturday night ball game for the Minnesota Twins. He was originally signed by Houston as an international free agent back in 2014. Jake Cave takes over in center field. Harrison Bader to lead it off for the Cardinals. Bader is a bases loaded walk. Run scored. Struck out. And it's 5-3 St. Louis. Good slider, and that's strike one. 1-1.
This really has been a kind of a weird game overall. You go back and think about it. We ran through the crazy third inning where they scored 5 runs. but it's not like the ball's been getting crushed all over the place on either side. Just been some fortuitous timing.
Alcala is a hard thrower. Very good slider. And a ground ball hit to short. And that's the first out. It brings in Tommy Edman. Well, the Cardinals 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, but 4 runs thanks to a hit by pitch, couple of walks, and a fielder's choice, all with the bases loaded. That's the difference in the game. Shift on the right side and the 1-1.
Just a lot of good at bats during that too. I mean, there were a lot of close pitches on some of the walks, and certainly got a few. Good changeup right there. Got a few little boosts along the way with the hit batters, but took advantage of it. And again, kind of all goes back to Tyler O'Neill being able to make that play, diving in the gap, changing the momentum.
The 2-2 outside, full count. And the 3-2. And a take by Tommy Edman, and he's aboard again. On base for the 3rd time. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Bud Light Seltzer. Unquestionably good. By Seidman Cancer Center. National leaders in cancer. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places. Here's Paul DeYoung. Bases loaded, walk back in the 3rd, is drawn a walk and takes a pitch high. Chicago leading the Cubs 2-0. It's in the top of the 3rd. Detroit leading Milwaukee 6-0. Chicago leading Cincinnati 2-0. Did I say Chicago leading the Cubs?
No.
Is that what you told me?
No.
It's been a long day.
Off air. Trying to help you out. You didn't have to go back to it.
Chicago leading the Cub faithful, hopefully to victory for their fans. Currently leading their game 2-0. Swing and a miss. That's what I was trying to say, and you interrupted me.
I didn't interrupt you at all.
Yeah, you did. You gave me a look, and it got me off track.
If it's
This
that
is
easy,
your fault.
If it's that easy to get you off track, Dan, I think we need to worry about your focus in general. I just feel like if you're as locked in as you think you are, maybe a little look, a little sideways glance, the me turning my head.
Did
Really,
you just say the Cubs beating Chicago?
You threw me off, I think.
That happens.
So again, the Cubs leading the Reds 2-0, and the Tigers leading the Brewers 6-0, and that's in the bottom of the 6th. And I think you knew what I was trying to say.
No, I knew.
3-2 pitch. Tommy's running, and the Ball is lifted in the air out to left, and the catch is made. It brings in Goldschmidt. So Paul has grounded out and struck out and lined out. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Thompson has motioned for a home run.
I just pointed out towards that big Mac.
He's too scared to call it out. So do you want to call it out? I myself would call it out.
I'm going to call you out.
Apparently you've done that a couple of times tonight.
All off air.
Adrianza.
I nailed it, by the way,
Thank
again.
you. But if you need to verbalize this, go ahead and just say what you need to say.
All right, tell you what's going to happen right here.
All right, go ahead.
Goldie's going to find himself a pitch. It's going to be up in the zone a little bit.
Okay.
And he is going to put this in or around Big Mac land.
Okay.
Now my subtle point in the booth was easier.
Well, that's a base hit off the pitcher. He'll take that. That's into shallow right. And Pop Warner will hold up the runner at third. That's Tommy Edman, who is hustling hard around the bag at third. He'll stop right there. Runners at the corners.
I find this to be your fault, because now I can't even be excited about the single up the middle, because I publicly said he was going to hit a home run. You know, it was a lot easier to just point and then it not happen. Good job staying up the box here. This catches him right off the ankle. A good thing he did.
So you're saying you're not happy about a base hit?
No, I'm happy about it. But I'm just saying it loses its luster now.
I don't think it does at all.
Expecting to put one.
There's a lot of happy fans around St. Louis that are very pleased with that.
This is good.
And you're taking away their enjoyment of the ball game, of a very positive moment for their hometown team.
I think that's a tad bit too far. Gonna make sure that leg's still on.
That one hurt.
Catch you right on the bone like that.
Yeah. Ouch. It's the right ankle or shin. That's his push-off leg.
That's one of those areas, Dan, where you do the old laugh cry.
Give me a minute.
Yeah. Everything's fine. Did you ever have that, you know, kids growing up, do you have like the Legos on the ground or the Matchbox cars? Give you those. They'll give you the laugh cry too. And then you probably say something else too, but those hurt. Stepping on those. You never did that?
You're talking about if you stepped on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, sure.
I'm not saying if like somebody throws one off your ankle. It's not an exact comp, okay? I'm just talking about pain in general.
I'm trying to figure out where you're going with it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, he's going to have to get that one iced up. That one hurts. So they're going to go to their bullpen here. And Wong was a pinch runner, remember, for Miller back in inning number 5. And so Wong is coming up. Rocco Baldelli will go to his pen. Poppin coming on when we come back. A Chevy call to the pen takes us to Sean Poppin. I don't think he had been throwing, Brad. I didn't see him getting loose.
No, that was one of those
in the bullpen at least.
Yeah, the quick get up in a hurry. So in that case, you have as much time as you need to warm up, but you have to do so on the game mound. That is part of the stipulation there. So Poppin kind of getting thrust into duty. So I'm guessing the heart is going a little bit here in this one.
And you've done this before where everybody's watching and you're like, oh, man.
Yeah, maybe a little bit different now with nobody there, but I remember doing this on the road in Philadelphia. Mark Mulder ended up getting injured in the first inning. I had to just run out there and warm up on the game mound with Ryan Howard licking his chops, waiting for me.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Howard in his prime watching you.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right, looks like all he's got is a sinker. Perfect.
But don't worry, he was hitting everybody, so it didn't matter.
Well, that is very true. Grounded into a double play, Dan. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, got out of it. That's what I like to hear.
You just assumed the worst. I know you did.
No, I didn't. I told you I loved watching you pitch. You were fast, you threw strikes, and did a very good job.
Thank you, Dan.
2-0 the count on Colton Wong. Runners at the corners trying to add some insurance late. Wong hits it up the middle. Base hit. Edman will score. Goldschmidt to third, and Colton Wong delivers. And that adds to the Cardinal lead to make it a 6-3 St. Louis lead. Little breathing room late.
Yeah, look, there's all the confidence in the world in Giovanni Gallegos and him being able to lock this thing down, but it never hurts to pile on some more runs, and it never hurts to just get a little bit of momentum going offensively. The Twins have done you a lot of favors, a lot of free passes in this ball game, a lot of guys being hit by pitches. So it's nice to be able to drive a couple of runs in, and good for Colton to come into this game and do something here. This is great.
So runners at the corners for Rangel Ravello. 6-3 our score. Ravello getting a start. Pretty good slider right there, and now it's 1-2. And got him again with that slider. So the Cardinals add a run, and Gallegos will try to finish it off. Long day of baseball that's been fun here at the ballpark. 6-3 Cardinals. Josh Donaldson to lead it off. The Cardinals have been out hit in the ball game 6-5, but they had a 5-run third and lead the ball game 6-3.
Well, that insurance run feels like a big one here. Giovanni Gallegos is going to have to earn every bit of it going through 2, 3, 4. Donaldson, Cruz, Rosario.
And on the first pitch, a fly ball lifted into right field. And there's Lane Thomas for the catch, and one pitch, one away. Reminder, we'll have the post-game show coming up. Nelson Cruz. about that late swing?
Some nasty breaking ball right there. I think that Nelson Cruz wasn't sure this thing was going to come down, and then he realizes, I better be hacking on this. What I love about Giovanni Gallegos is just how aggressive in the strike zone he is. I mean, he just goes right after. It doesn't matter if it's Nelson Cruz, doesn't matter who it is, he's attacking.
It's another game where you really didn't have that big hit. And that is launched into left center and gone. Just sneaks over the wall, and the second home run of the doubleheader for Nelson Cruz, his 15th of the year. And the Cut's a lead now to 6-4.
Well, there's that run that we were just talking about, the Colton Wong RBI. This is a fastball belt high. He's trying to climb the ladder a little bit, potentially to get him out on the next one with the slider down. Just not up high enough.
Eddie Rosario, 6-4 our score. And first pitch hit out of play. I was about to say another game with really not a big hit, but 9 of the 10 Cardinals who had an at bat either got a hit, drove in a run, scored a run. And that kind of seems to be the MO for this club.
I think it should be. I think this is a team that from top to bottom they can produce, and it doesn't have to be doubles and home runs all the time. If you're building a team, yes, you'd love to have that. You'd love to just outslug the world. But I don't think that the Cardinals are built like that. That doesn't mean they can't be productive. It doesn't mean they can't move the line. And we saw a little bit of that, you know, specifically in that third inning, with a little help along the way.
There's an 0-2 pitch to Rosario. Popped up left side. Edman over and makes the catch in foul territory. Nice play by Tommy Edman. Had a long way to go as they had the shift on. Not an easy play, but comes up with it.
Oh, you know this ball too off the bat of the lefty is going to continue to tail away. Does a good job of just never giving up on it.
Well, Cruz now with 15 home runs. It's tied with Mike Trout, Fernando Tatis Jr. for the major league lead. Tatis Jr. is 21 years of age. Trout 29. Nelson Cruz, he's 40. Something else.
It really is.
Miguel Sano. And nothing in 2. Oh-2 pitch. What a play here by Tommy. Backhanded long throw, and he makes the play. So it's a split of the doubleheader. Tommy Edman, some nice plays defensively here to finish it off.
Yeah, Tommy had a couple of really nice ones. Bullpen in general did a great job. The Cardinals got some offense when they needed it. Got a little cushion there late with Colton Wong, and you'll take a good split here against the Minnesota Twins.
Cardinals win it by the final of 6-4 here in game number 2. Back to wrap it up in a moment.